Be yourself, Capricorn. Nothing else in this world matters. The only thing that matters is for you to be yourself. There are no two trees that are identical. None. There are no two humans who are identical. But we live in a world where everyone's got to be the same. But that is also why there's so much depression and anxiety. The world is better when you are yourself. That is the point of coming here and being human, is to figure out who you are, not who everyone thinks you should be. And that is one of the hardest parts of being human. But it makes sense, because that's the whole point of being human, is to create who you are, to be yourself, to find out who you are. Who is that dude that stares back at me in the mirror? What am I? You know who is all the same? Everyone that's in heaven. Everyone that's up here. And everyone that's back home, where there is just one. Where there is God, right? God is one. Everyone is the same over there. But we're not over there. We're down here. This is us. But we chose to be here. Even if we didn't, well, you're screwed because you're already here. So you might as well do with what we have. Do with where we are. That's the point of being here, right? To be different. We want to explore something different. And now we find ourselves with this odd, weird little human. Why don't we see what it can do? We start with the 6 of Swords. Nice. Look at that movement. I was talking about this in the last reading with Virgo. There was a lot about movement, right? And then being still in this movement. So it looks like the same thing's going on here. There was movement that we are leaving behind, and there's stillness. And we are in the Swords. The Virgo reading was all about the emotions, but you, Capricorn, you are in the Swords. So this is all about the mind. This is all about stillness within the mind. This is when people tell you treat your thoughts like clouds or traffic, and just watch them go by. This is the watching them go by. Right? I always understood what they were saying, but I'm like, I don't know how to do that. You say it, but how do I do that? How do I make it clear? Yeah, how do I not fight? See, this is the Wands now. This is the 5, 6, 7 of Wands. Feels like it's you against the world. It even feels so in this card, honestly. Right? Sure, you left this movement behind, but still there's so much more to go out and explore. So fire, movement. Fire is never still. It's always moving. Same with our mind, right? Except we can let that movement take over us, or we can be still within the movement. Right? So this is watching traffic go by. Can you grab a car and hold on to it and make it stay? Or make it go back and forth? No, you can't really control traffic. So the best thing you can do is watch. And when you're watching, it creates a space between the thoughts. There's no automatic response. There is a little bit of breath, a little bit of pausing before something else comes along. That's cool. We were talking about the mirror, right? I mean, this looks like Jem is staring at a mirror. This is like Dwight is staring at a mirror. Do you want to fight the one in the mirror? Because that is what our mind is, right? It's just mirroring back who we are. So if we are in this fighting mode, then our mind is also going to be in this movement mode, fighting back. But if we are still, our mind will also be a little more still. And doesn't mean no thoughts are going to come in, but it means that we are actually going to just let them go by, and you don't get stuck on anything. You don't get stuck on one thought. Sure, it might come around again, but just watch it go around again. You don't just watch what you're thinking, but you're watching the way you're responding. So this reminds me of, I'm horrible at making decisions, right? So at one point I started using a quarter, right? Say heads is yes, tails is no, right? And I would say, or just, heads is Burger King, tails is McDonald's, where should I eat? I used to start doing that because I was horrible at making decisions. So at least they helped me make the decision quicker, even if I wasn't the one making that decision, even though I technically was, right? Because I'm flipping the coin. And the coins are the same way with like tarot cards. They can also respond. They can also interact with you if you you just gotta give it meaning. You just gotta give it, give things your meaning. And so I honestly, it kind of helped. I was using this. But then it kind of helped because eventually, at first I would just do what it said, but eventually I started responding back. I started kind of noticing. They say that if you are having trouble with a decision and you flip a coin, sometimes it'll land heads, and you can feel yourself responding by saying, oh no, that's not what I wanted. I wanted tails. And then, so ultimately, it's not important what landed on the coin. It is important how you responded to what landed on the coin. And then you can do what it is you like. So paying attention not only to what we're thinking, but the way we're responding to the thinking. And then a gap appears, silence. The silence between these wands, silence between the swords. Major Arcana number 17. I would like to read this one from the book because this doesn't come up for me often. I am not very silent often. Interesting, and it says, the silent mirror-like receptiveness. That mirror theme is popping up again. The silent mirror-like receptiveness of a star-filled night with a full moon is reflected in the misty lake below. The face in the sky is deep in meditation, a goddess of the night who brings depth, peace, and understanding. Now is a very precious time. It will be easy for you to rest inside, to plumb the depths of your own inner silence to the point where it meets the silence of the universe. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go. The quality of your inner silence permeates everything you do. It might make some people uncomfortable, accustomed as they are to all the noise and activity of the world. Now I see we're letting go of the noise, of the movement. Never mind. Seek out those who can resonate with your silence or enjoy your aloneness. Now is the time to come home to yourself. The understanding and insights that come to you in these moments will be manifested later on in a more outgoing phase of your life. Nice. We were talking about home, right? We're over here. But you're finding your own home. Be yourself. The dream. Ooh. I like how all of these are very blue cards. Blue and purple are one of my favorite color combinations. Pink and blue are my favorite light color combinations. Light. But the dream, the Six of Cups, this is where our emotions are at the most still, the most useful, the most potential. Six of Cups. The dream. Interesting. The inner child, huh? The inner child is the one that knows most what you've always wanted the whole long. When you were a kid, you were most yourself. Interesting. Okay. Alright, the dream. I found it. This says, some enchanted evening, you're going to meet your soulmate, the perfect person who will meet all your needs and fulfill all your dreams. Right? Wrong. This fantasy that songwriters and poets are so fond of perpetuating has its roots in mirrors and memories of the womb, where we are so secure and at one with our mothers. No wonder we have hankered to return to that place all our lives. But to put it quite brutally, it is a childish dream. And it's amazing we hang on to it so stubbornly in the face of reality. Nobody, whether it's your current mate or some dreamed of partner in the future, has any obligation to deliver your happiness on a platter, nor could they even if they wanted to. Real love comes not from trying to solve our neediness by depending on another, but by developing our own inner richness and maturity. Then we have so much love to give that we naturally draw lovers towards us. Okay, to me this looks like, right, it's like we're looking at the one in the mirror, thinking that the one in the mirror is our soulmate and is the one that needs to make us happy. But really, if us, the one looking in the mirror, are happy, then the one in the mirror is going to be happy right back, because we are the ones in the mirror. So that's what it means by, no, there is no soulmate. No, there is no one else that's going to make you happy. It's only you. There's only one. It's only you and the one in the mirror that's looking right back at you. So if you want to fight, the one in the mirror is going to fight right back. If you want to have a soulmate, the one in the mirror is going to be a soulmate right back. If you are silent, the one in the mirror will be silent. Ultimately, this is a one-player game. When we die, we will go out alone. We can't take anything with us except for ourselves, maybe. Who knows? So this isn't everything, right? What did I say? The only thing in the world that matters is to be yourself, right? This also matters, yes, but it's I keep repeating back to the Virgo one, right? I said back to the Virgo reading, I said what is the point of a business? Is it to make money? No, the point of a business is to provide a service. To making money is a side quest that makes it able for you to achieve your main goal, which is to provide a service. But making money isn't the main goal of a business, no matter what people tell us nowadays. But a real business is to provide a service. Why did I say that now? was going somewhere. Oh well, if you got it, you got it. If not, not. Adjustment. The adjustment from being this and this, huh? Judgment from talking to being silent. This is the Judgment card. Aleister Crowley changed it to adjustment because he felt like justice wasn't exactly the right word for it. It was more of a human perspective that we see it as justice. But if you see it as what it is more as an adjustment, not justice. It's not about making things right. It's not about getting revenge, right? Justice, they did something bad. Oh, we must punish to make things right again. No, it's an adjustment from one scale to another. It's like energy. It can't be created, right? It can only be like moved around. So it's just moving something from one place to another, right? They say nothing in the world is free, it has to come from somewhere. Well, that's the same with adjustment. It's not a judgment, it's just an adjustment to make things a little more balanced, right? If you're about to fall, you make an adjustment to move this way now so that you don't fall. So if you haven't been yourself, if you've been fighting, if you haven't been treating yourself like a soulmate, it's not that you need punished. You need to be punished for not doing these things. Just make an adjustment. The Hierophant. Okay. Hierophant to me is the teach that can see it both ways, not just the human perspective, but also the spiritual, the soul perspective. This one sees both ways, is knowledgeable of both. The Hierophant lives in this silence, and we can't listen to the Hierophant if we aren't silent. This is the guy that is looking in the mirror. We are the ones in the mirror, if that makes sense. And everyone has this, right? This Hierophant lives here. This is the one. This would be the one that's looking into the mirror. This would be the one that's staring back at the mirror. You see it mirrored, right? These three, those three, the one, and then this one. And then the mirror happens again. These three, and the one, right? And this was just a fruit that fell from the tree. It was like a baby, something that happened after love. Something that popped out. I hope that made sense. I think that's all. That's everything that wanted to be said. Alright, let's get some last words from the office oracle, and they jumped. We'll start with 24. Nice. This card is all about love. Yeah, loving yourself, right? And loving, not needing love from someone else, but being that love that we need, and then everything else comes as like a reward, a gift, a silence. And the love is replacing this. I don't know if you can see that here. Yeah, that makes sense though. Love is replacing this. Yeah, this is one of my favorite cards in this deck. It's a beautiful proposal that we have here. It is all about love, a beautiful family, beautiful moment. Everything is beautiful about this scene, and that is what love is. Love is beautiful. Love is what makes it all worth it in the end. All the pain, all the tears, all the struggle, all the darkness. It's all worth it when you find love, right? And first and foremost, it's that love within yourself. And then it's going to be mirrored out, yes, into another person. But that only mirrored out into another person because we gave it to ourselves. Yes, we are so small. That's what this card is all about, nature. The Hierophant is the one that reminds us that we are so small because he can see both sides, the human perspective and the spiritual perspective. The human perspective is very small, and the spiritual perspective, although it's bigger, it's still only a perspective. We ought to combine everything, all of the perspectives together to find the truth. And the truth is that we are small. If you look closely in this card, there are two little people right there. And that is how small we are. So it's very important to go outside to enjoy nature, enjoy this big place, because that is our teacher. Nature is our teacher here. You learn a lot just by being around nature. That is literally anything that human has created. We have copied it from nature. The reason we can fly airplanes and everything is because we looked at how birds fly, and then we made contraptions that mimicked the birds. So we are nature. We are small. We can learn from this big, wonderful place. Be yourself, Capricorn.